I'd like to thank the chair and the committee for including my bill, H.R. 6020, the Honoring Our Living Donors Act, in this hearing. I introduced this along with my co-sponsor, Congresswoman Delbane, to solve a really important problem with the Living Donor Reimbursement Program. I think the people in this room are probably not surprised to hear that we have currently over 92,000 Americans waiting for a kidney transplant. And yet the number of living donors, it was only about 6,000 last year, and it is declining rather than increasing. That is a really serious problem. So anything that we can do to incentivize an increase in the number of living donors, I think, is going to be something that not only saves lives, but is of service to a lot of the people that are waiting on that list. It's an incredible sacrifice to be an organ donor, and the impediments to being one are severe. That's why Congress a few years ago authorized this Living Donor Reimbursement Program, which in a very modest way reimburses costs like travel expenses, dependent care, things of that nature for living donors. And by modest, I mean the program is capped out at $6,000 per donor. It is modest. It's also means tested. A donor or the recipient of the organ cannot have an income over 350% of the poverty line. This is a problem because it makes no sense to include the income of the recipient in this calculation. That has nothing to do with whether or not the organ donor is going to be able to make ends meet in donating the organ. And so that's what this bill does. It makes that 350% means test apply only to the income of the donor, not the income of the recipient. Another thing that the bill does is commission a study on the program to seek ways that we can be more effective in both getting these donations funded and into communicating the existence of the program to the recipients. So I want to thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for including that bill in this hearing, and I certainly hope that we can get speedy passage of that to fix this problem. Dr. Basouk, your testimony really interested me, and I wanted to talk about it with respect to organ donation. So recent studies have indicated that in addition to frequently needing organ donations, rare disease patients can themselves be living donors. I mean, it's a misperception to think that, that they can't be. They can be, and they have been very effectively. So can you talk about the importance of breaking down the barriers for rare disease patients to get care, including organ donation?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I'll just reiterate what you said. Patients with rare disease, kids with rare disease need all the treatments that everybody else gets and the special treatments that they need as well. And they definitely should not be excluded by, from standard therapies.
Right, thank you. And Ms. Davis, I think I'm probably the last questioner here, and so I think it's appropriate to give you the last word. After considering everything that's been said in this hearing, if you could tell people one thing to take away from the hearing today, what would it be?
Keep in mind that it will take thousands of years at the current pace to reach treatments for all patients with rare conditions. That's unacceptable to me, and I hope that it's unacceptable to all of you as well. We know that the Orphan Drug Act is working. We've seen the great incentivations that it's provided in bringing novel therapies to patients in need. I urge you all to turn to those incentives, extend them, and protect our orphan drugs from harmful policies that will restrict innovation and access to the treatments that can help our patients live better lives, help our patients live longer lives, and help us have more days to spend and love our loved ones with rare conditions. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your testimony, and thank you to all of our witnesses for your valuable testimony today. I yield back.
That concludes the members of the committee testimony. We do have one person that has asked to waive on from our full committee, and so I'll now recognize